Okay, today we're going to do our slab construction piece that has the 3 different layers. So we're starting with our slab of clay. It's a nice thick slab of clay, and I'm going to start by just drawing around what's the outside shape of my piece of clay going to be. So I draw it out, take away the extra clay. My next thing is we're doing our letters, so I'm going to draw out just kind of the outline of where I want my letter to be. I'm going to do kind of a cursive J here. So I outline it. Next I get my clay tool that has a wire on one end and a rounded end on the other end. And I'm going to use the wire end to just kind of remove the top layer of my background clay. So I don't want to cut away too much and make my background clay thin where it would dry out and break off. But I want to make sure that there's enough difference between my letter and that background clay. So I just kind of work my way around the whole piece, taking off a little bit of that background layer, leaving my letter where it's at. So my letter stays the original layer and the background gets removed and goes down. Now I have 2 layers there. Remember, we have to have 3, but I have 2 to get started. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to clean up my clay. So I go ahead and get my sponge, and I want to squeeze as much water out of my sponge as I possibly can because I don't want to make a wet mess. Then I'm just going to kind of go around the edges and clean it up and make it a nice, neat piece, because once my clay's fired, I can't go back and change any of that stuff. So just cleaning it all up. Now when I cleaned it up, some of my detail kind of got lost, so I'm going to get my clay tool back out and just kind of go around some of the edges again just so that they stand out a little bit nicer. So you can really see my J sticking up off that background. When I have that all done, I'm going to start to decorate my J, and I'm just going to keep mine simple. I'm going to put some stripes and a couple buttons onto it. Now because mine's flipping around and there's the little loop going underneath, I'm going to just take a little tiny bit of clay off so you can almost see that the front of my J is taller than the background, but it's not as low as my background. Then I'm going to go ahead and using that extra clay, I'm going to build those pieces that are going to stick off the top. So I'm going to build my little buttons. And then when I get ready to put them on, remember I have to score my clay, both pieces. Get a little bit of that slip or that watery goo stuff. Stick my button on there. Go ahead and do that for all the buttons. Remember to score and to slip whenever you hook clay together. When I have that all done, keep checking, cleaning up my edges. I have a little bit of a space. Oh, I have my 3 layers, 1, 2, and 3. So I'm good to go there. I'm going to double check everything. I have a little empty space there, so I'm going to add an extra little button of detail on there. And then when I'm all done, I have my J with my buttons all cleaned up and ready to go.